Right now, breaking news, out of control. Paramedics rushed to a Plano home overnight. What happened that sent a half dozen people to the hospital?
Hot pursuit. Police chase a man through the city streets. What prompted that man to steal a van and how that chase came to an end.
Targeted, a pregnant woman staring down the barrel of a gun. The Oak Cliff crime that may have you thinking twice about selling online today, Tuesday, August 9th, 2016.
This is CBS 11 News at 4:30. The ones for Texas.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Russ McCaskey.
And I'm Karen Borda. It's about 4:31. Time for a check of weather and traffic on the ones.
I want to start with meteorologist Lisa Villegas, who has the hour-by-hour forecast, and it is already just muggy out there.
I know, it already feels like the lower 90s in Tarrant, parts of Dallas County. I'm sure you felt that early this morning, Russ. Good morning to you, and good morning to you at home. Satellite radar view right now showing some cloud cover hanging around parts of the Metroplex. A few little isolated showers way out towards the west, but overall dry for us this morning. 10% chance of that isolated shower thunderstorm popping up once again later on this afternoon. Also, that heat advisory pops back up for our eastern counties, making it feel like 108. Isolated shower picks up late this afternoon as we top out at around 100 and 101 degrees. I'll break down all of that, of course, coming up here in the next 10 minutes. Chelsea?
All right, good morning, Miss Lisa. We look okay for the most part this morning as far as the crashes are concerned. This one's pretty minor. 635 eastbound at Marsh Lane, only blocking one lane here, and all the flows still showing all green as you're going to travel in that direction. But check out the restrictions on parts of 75 and 635 before you approach the High 5 area. We're looking at construction zones through Richardson, so give yourself extra time there, and also the normal trouble spots. 35E up at President George Bush Turnpike, 35E southbound just below 635. And also on I-30, kind of by Fair Park, only on the eastbound side am I seeing those cones out. For northbound 35W in Tarrant County, 28th Street, those lanes are closed, so you're going to have to use Beach Street to get by.
Good morning, I'm Jason Allen to Live ID. Some breaking news we've been following in the overnight hours. A half a dozen people had to go to the hospital after a party, and this happened at that home that you see right there in Plano. This is a $2 million home on Silver Falls Court in Plano. The call came in about 1:45 this morning for 6 people who just were not feeling well after taking some kind of drugs. Now, we understand none of them are in life-threatening conditions. They've been described to us as all older than the age of 17, and we've also learned that there was at least one other person who was asleep upstairs in the house while this was all happening. Narcotics detectives are working on that case this morning. Russ.
Hi, Jason, thanks. New this morning, a mentally ill man could face charges after a wild chase from Garland to Dallas. Police say that a mental health patient stole a van after forcing the driver out. The man drove to his relative's house after leading police on that chase throughout the city. Then he jumps out and announces that he's there. His aunt says that Garland police reacted professionally and took him into custody without incident. Police then took him back to Green Oaks Hospital. Happening today, police pay is at the center of a heated debate for the Dallas City Council. CBS 11's Jennifer Lindgren is live outside of City Hall with why officers are demanding more money. Jennifer.
Russ, 219 Dallas police officers have already left the force this year alone. So we could see a big turnout today at the council chambers when they discuss next year's budget in a briefing this morning. Some officers argue that the only way Dallas can compete with police is by offering big pay jumps. The city manager's plan is to hire more officers and increase pay by 10%. But that raise is for younger officers to help with retention. The Dallas Police Association president says after younger officers had their pay frozen for 4 years, the city is just playing catch up by accelerating increases that were already built into their contracts. Meanwhile, the department is losing veterans to other higher paying agencies in North Texas. Officers say they want an actual 5% raise on top of what the city manager is offering for the next 3 years. In addition to the budget talk this morning and the talk of police salaries, we are also expecting to hear an update on the investigation that continues into that July 7th police ambush. Live in downtown Dallas, Jennifer Lindgren, CBS 11 News.
Jennifer, thanks. Right now, thousands of Delta passengers hope they can get where they need to go, especially at DFW International. Delta is predicting up to 200 delays today. Now, the system is back up and running after a system outage prompted the cancellation of more than 700 flights on Monday. Delta blamed the problem on a power outage at its Atlanta headquarters.
7 months pregnant and looking down the barrel of a gun. A young mother says she was punched in the face and robbed right in front of her 2-year-old son. Only on 11, Dan Haggerty shows us how it all started with a sale brokered through a popular app.
After Jenna Perkins made this post trying to sell her phone on the website OfferUp, she admits to making a lot of mistakes.
I keep playing it back in my head. I should have done this, I should have done that.
And that she should have never come here alone, especially with her 2-year-old son in the car and being 7 months pregnant.
I felt like the worst mother in the world. And that feeling will not go away for a very long time.
She says a woman named Kiera answered her ad right away, sent these texts, and called.
She was asking me if how far along I was and how I was doing with it, and asking about my son. So I guess that was her way to make me feel comfortable.
She also offered $50 over asking if Jenna would come to her, sending her to this Oak Cliff church.
Just kept thinking I'm in the church parking lot, I'd be okay. Yeah, that's not the case.
She says the lot was empty when she parked, and it was a trap.
And I felt the gun to my head, and him yelling, "Hand me your wallet, hand me your wallet."
She says a man hit her and slammed her into the steering wheel while she clutched her stomach and screamed.
I saw my whole life flash before my eyes. My unborn baby's life, my son's life.
A son, she says, has been terrified and confused by what happened.
I just hope they get caught because I don't want anybody else to suffer what I had to go through.
And that was Dan Haggerty reporting. Perkins says the man stole her purse with her green card inside. She had to cancel an upcoming trip home to the UK, where she had planned to introduce her family to the new baby.
Well, it's been 15 years since people living in Plano had their taxes lowered. This year, the city manager has proposed a budget that would give homeowners a break. Plano's proposed $527 million budget offers people their first tax decrease in 15 years. It comes at the expense not only of the police department's wish list for more employees, but also the Parks Department's request for more frequent mowing and the library's desire for more books.
Decision to council is, do you want to you want that upgrade, and if you do, that has a cost to it, and it has a tax rate cost.
Plano city manager says that the skyrocketing home appraisals, the reason for that the citizens need a tax break. The council will vote on the budget in September.
The family of an Irving teen, Ahmed Mohammed, is suing the city and the school district. Mohammed, who became known as Clock Boy, was arrested last year after bringing a homemade clock to school. Administrators believed it was a bomb. The suit claims the incident violated the boy's civil rights, prompted death threats, and forced his family to leave the United States.
Well, for the first time this season, a person in North Texas has died of the West Nile virus. The person lived in the 75006 zip code. That's in Carrollton, and the patient was in their 60s. The Dallas County Health Department says that the person had the more severe neuroinvasive form of the virus.
Turning to campaign 2016, Hillary Clinton continues her push to rally voters in the battleground state of Florida. But today's appearance in Miami comes on the heels of controversy. Clinton is facing a federal lawsuit from the parents of 2 Americans killed in the 2012 Benghazi attacks. Patricia Smith and Charles Woods filed the wrongful death, defamation, and emotional distress lawsuits. They allege Clinton's use of a private email server while Secretary of State was partly responsible for the attacks. The lawsuit was filed by the founder of Judicial Watch, a conservative watchdog group that's been critical of Clinton. In other campaign news, the Clinton camp released a statement overnight saying she will participate in all 3 presidential debates. This comes after Donald Trump accused Clinton of rigging the debates because some were scheduled at the same time as NFL games. The schedule was set last fall by a nonpartisan commission.
Donald Trump will spend the day campaigning in North Carolina. In recent years, the Tar Heel state has turned into a swing state. According to the News and Observer, President Obama was the first Democrat to win the state since 1976, but he lost it to Mitt Romney in the 2012 election.
Today, the Arlington Housing Authority begins accepting housing choice voucher applications for low-income residents. Applicants must apply online, but are welcome to use kiosks at the AHA office on West Stanford. The deadline for applications is August 16th.
Well, Governor Greg Abbott makes his first public appearance since being hospitalized for severe burns. On Monday, Abbott appeared at the groundbreaking for construction of a new bridge in Corpus Christi. Abbott was treated for 2nd and 3rd degree burns in July after he accidentally was scalded while vacationing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Richardson ISD is hosting a new teacher welcome fair today. It's from 11:30 to 1 at Berkner High School on East Spring Valley Road.
Well, the Ringling Brothers are partnering with the Shoe Bank for a shoe drive. They're going for a Guinness World Record for the number of donations today, and you can help by dropping off your new or gently used shoes at AT&T Plaza at the American Airlines Center, which is, of course, on Victory Avenue in Dallas. Donations start at 7 a.m. and will go until 7 p.m. tonight.
Well, we're celebrating champions in Keller today.
Yeah, kudos to the Keller High School softball team. They are state champs, and tonight Keller ISD is hosting a special community celebration. It'll be tonight at the Keller High School softball field from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. There'll be hot dogs and soft drinks. Fans are asked to park in the Keller High football lot.
Well, it's too bad they're not having it at the pool.
I know,
because it's
it'll be a lot more user-friendly.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's closing in on 441. We want to get a check of our weather and traffic on the ones. Let's start with meteorologist Lisa Villegas. Lisa, it's going to be a scorcher.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to we'll reach a high of 101 rather, and it's going to continue to feel like 108 out there, especially for our eastern counties. I'm going to break down that heat index coming up next.
And I'm watching the roadways here, Lisa. We look okay. Overall, we're still dealing with just those construction areas. We're starting to see a slowdown. Of course, Tarrant County, I keep warning you guys, 35W northbound and southbound at 28th Street. You're going to run into delays there. But want to let you know the one crash we're dealing with this morning is on 635 eastbound Marsh Lane. We're not looking at huge delays there. Thankfully, you can drop down, use Forest or Royal if you start to see those. Back to you guys.
All right, Chelsea, thanks. Officials discover the source of food poisoning at a quinceañera, and it's not quite what they thought it was.
Why, it could land someone behind bars. Next, it's a job crucial to keeping our airline system flowing freely, and that could lead to big bucks. We have some information how you can get your foot in the door.
And still to come, clickbait. The irresistible headline proves too good to be true when what you see is nothing like what you thought it would be. The tech giant that's trying to fight it, next.
Boom, boom, boom. Bang, 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 bang. How, how, how. Hey!